What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, I'm Schmook, and this is M Cubed, and we're back. This is Comic Adaptations Weekly. We try to do this every week if doable. Of course, we're talking about The Boys. Started a little bit earlier than I have scheduled, but also a little bit later because we were originally going to do this at 6:30, but my dinner went a smidge longer than it was supposed to. So I just wasn't going to make it in time. But I'm here, and we're going to talk some of The Boys. Because I haven't been able to talk about episode 6 yet. Yes, tomorrow we're going to be getting episode 7. And I'm curious what you guys would be intrigued with. Because I could hypothetically make another comic adaptations weekly for tomorrow. But I'm thinking I'm going to talk about episode 7 on Monday or Tuesday, whichever works better for me. But for episode 8, I would probably do that the day of, because I want to be able to that next week is the week of Deadpool. So I would like that comic adaptations weekly to be discussing like predictions and wants and stuff like that, right? And I think that would be the best way to go about things. And of course, I probably would still potentially, if I'm able to, do a video the day it comes out, do a full reaction stream for Deadpool. And then probably that next Monday, the Monday after Deadpool comes out, maybe go into what the future of the MCU looks like after Deadpool, which of course we'd probably talk about in that reaction video. But maybe to go deeper into it, what am I thinking that the next Avengers thing will be? But also I could just go over everything that happened at San Diego Comic-Con, because that's also the same weekend as well. And of course, Marvel is going to be back at Hall H. So we'll see. No matter what, I'd say I would definitely do a video that weekend on Deadpool as well. And then we'll talk about San Diego Comic-Con that next week. So we will, I will let you know. I'll let you know what's going on. But I guess we might as well just get right into it. Episode 6 of The Boys. Now, I hear a lot of mixed things on it. Hold on. It's good stuff, by the way, guys. I don't know if you know what Poppy is. Pretty good. It's a good gut health soda. And it has a little bit of sugar in it, but it's not like, most sodas where it's like so bad for you. And it tastes pretty good. So I recommend getting Poppy if you have not heard of it. Poppy, sponsor this video, please. No. Anyway. The Boys. So I've heard mixed things. Me personally, I enjoyed the episode. I know a lot of my friends liked it too, but I know there was my one friend, Josh, who has not been on the show. I don't think I've really talked about much at all. I really agree with a lot of stuff he has to say. He's got to the point where the show is becoming more like shock value than like having a good story. And I do agree with that, but I still thought this was a pretty good episode that does it pushes things a little bit with like the whole dynamic between Firecracker and Homelander, what's going on with Vicky, the whole shit about the virus a little bit, and of course what's going on with Butcher, right? So I guess let's just get into it. Of course, you're getting the funeral for Huey's dad, where they're just like doing this tour for Made in New York, or I think that's what it's called in the movie. Made in Manhattan is the movie name, actually. And of course, that was Hugh Sr.'s favorite movie, apparently. So they were doing this tour, and that's where Huey's spreading the ashes, right? Which I thought was nice. It was a nice moment, Huey's mom gets to spend more time with him. Of course, spend some time with like Starlight and all of his friends. And I guess another thing that I thought was crazy about this episode was like how Kimiko keeps trying to visit Frenchie in prison, but he declines every visitation. So it's like he feels so ashamed. Like he's riddled with guilt with what he did to this dude's family. I don't blame him, but it's like, well, shit. Like what happens when the higher ups realized that, oh, we have one of the boys in one of our institution. We're gonna take them out, and they easily can because they have power everywhere. I mean, they have to have some sort of pull within the prison system, I would guess, especially since one is is about to become vice president of the United States and potentially the president of the United States. Because who knows if Bobby Singer is just going to be a pawn that Vicky will somehow kill off. But uh, I also can kind of see Bobby Singer being a soup and killing her, and that's like the big shock. Excuse me, the big shock value of the boys. That's one of my predictions, and then I guess one of my other predictions came right or came true, and that would be that Joe is a figment in Butcher's head, a figment of imagination, right? Because obviously he has this cancerous V thing destroying his brain, right? And we've seen that already with him seeing Becca all the time. And she's like that good angel on his shoulder, like being like, don't do this, blah, blah, blah. And then that was just a crazy scene where it's like, she's like saying, don't do it, don't listen to him, blah, blah, blah. And then Joe just goes, shut the fuck up. And then Billy's like, do you see her? And then he's like, yeah, because I am you. I am inside your head. The real Joe died, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, shit. But I saw that coming because clearly once I saw that Becca was around, I'm like, okay, Joe is only spending any type of scene with Billy. And of course, you had the one guy who they took to try to replicate this virus. It's like, okay, he's clearly like that. It was definitely a moment of, okay, I know I'm right here. And that was good. That was good confirmation for myself, my own ego. And I thought it made the most sense. I thought it was sick. And they delivered that very perfectly. Anyway, I'd say that was my ultimate favorite part of the episode, but I enjoyed the meat in this sandwich where it was meeting this spider guy. I can't remember his name. Also, if you're in, say hey. Say hey. I want to know who's watching. And let me know what your guys' favorite part was of the episode. Anyway. The meat of the sandwich is, Huey dressing up as a spider guy after they drug him. They go to his apartment and they get his suit so Huey can pretend to be him. And obviously this is a parody of Spider-Man. And it's funny because he has like the web hole like above his butthole and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. And I guess with that, we also have that whole we have this whole sequence within this Tech Knight's mansion, like where he's having this crazy party. It was almost like a hero-gasm moment, but it was just a lot of these powerful figures together. Of course, Tech Knight has this little side thing going on with I can't remember her name. I think Sarah. Am I wrong there? Whoever this, I can never remember her name, but she's a very good actress in this show, and she's that bitch at Vought. I can never remember her name, and I hate to say it, but. She's in on it where she wears this gimp outfit with Tech Knight, and they're just basically torturing Huey, where the spider guy would be totally into it, but Huey's doing a great job being undercover, and he doesn't know the safe word, and that's where Tech Knight starts to realize, oh, you're not him. But then the boys realize that Huey's in trouble, right? Because he's literally getting fucked, quite literally fucked by Tech Knight and whatever her name is. Like if any of you watching remembers her name, I'd love to know. Obviously Huey's being traumatized. But then we get to this insane scene where you have Kimiko, you have Starlight, and you have Mother's Milk sneaking into the mansion. You have Starlight coming across Firecracker, and it's like she's doing this whole ruse with her, being like, hey, I was a bitch. I'm sorry, but you did not have to do that. Trying to like level with her. She kind of agreed, but then she stabs Firecracker. She doesn't die, but that was a pretty crazy moment. And the scene I really enjoyed was Mother's Milk going having like a panic attack that was almost like a heart attack, right? And then I like how A-Train comes in, and Kimiko's like going through all these different books, be like, you have to do this, blah, blah, take him to a hospital. A Train's having a pretty good arc from last season to this season, and shows overall. I'm really liking A Train this season. He's just not my favorite character, but like he's doing some really good stuff that really like make amends for everything he did to Huey and just being a part of the Seven in general. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. And then I just thought it was a good moment. Like Tech Knight was awesome. I really liked him in Gen V, which I finally finished, by the way. Me and my girlfriend are rewatching The Boys. She's never seen it, so I'm rewatching. But I never watched Gen V. So once we finished season 3, she's like, "Oh, you want to watch Gen V?" I'm like, "Okay." Gen V was awesome. I was a big fan of it. But it was nice to see some of these characters involved, and then Tech Knight come into the fold, and he's just like this crazy like masochist, nymphomaniac. Like anyway, whatever that term is, he enjoys sex on a rough scale, and so yeah. And then I think I'm trying to remember what he says once he's like they're choking him and whatnot. Like how do you torture someone who likes this? Then they get into his like bank account, start doing these donations to just all these different organizations that he does not agree with, and so that's some real torture for him because he doesn't want to lose his money, especially to donate it to things he does not believe in. But it's cool that Tech Knight is in a way like Batman, but just the rich side and the detective side of Batman. That's basically what his character is. And but he has like this butler who apparently raised him, but the butler like never really liked him because he's just this entitled brat. And then he gets to that point where he starts choking him out and then kills him. And like he's like, I had to do it because he's fucked. Right? Anyway. And then we got the moment that I'm like, okay, this needs to be said because what was the safe word for the spider guy, right? And it was Zendaya, which I thought was hilarious. I'm like, oh, just casually name dropping Zendaya as a safe word to this sex ring type situation. So that was cool. And then we get potentially the best Huey scene within this episode. I thought like the last like 5 minutes of this episode were the best part of the episode. Where Starlight's talking to Huey, and he's just like obviously scarred from what had just happened. He was sexually assaulted, and it goes to him like start crying about what happened, and to him being like, I miss him. I miss my dad, because that's clearly where all this trauma is truly coming from. He misses his best friend. And ever since becoming one of the boys, like he clearly hasn't been around as much, or he hasn't seen his dad as much. And he's like, I didn't spend as much time with my dad when I should have, because that's a good it's a good message right there, because you never know like when's the last time you're gonna be with someone that you love. And for Huey, it's like if he never gave his dad this V, where he got to at least have another conversation with his dad again, who knows when the last time was when him and his dad had a conversation or just hung out. And it's sad. And of course he misses his father, who was his best friend throughout his whole life. He was the one who was always there for him. And so it's like, it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, one, Jack Quaid went off in that scene, and it just made me think, it's like, make sure you hug the people you love a little extra tight next time you see them, or next time you say goodbye, because you never know. You never know when that's the last time you're going to see this person, because anything can happen in a blink of an eye. Whether it's a stroke, a car crash, there could be the more elongated version of that with some bad disease like cancer or anything like that, which can completely alter your relationship with this person, because either they're just gone or they're going to be gone. And it kind of hit home for me a little bit, because this one guy that I know that's good friends with my dad, he just had a brain aneurysm, and now he's in a coma, and who knows if he gets out of it. And not to get super deep here, obviously, but I thought this episode had a pretty hard-hitting moment. It's like, again, you never know when it's the last time you're going to talk to someone. So make each moment with these people you love count at all times. Live life like there's no tomorrow, even for yourself. You don't know if this is the last time they will talk to you. So I thought that was powerful for sure. And I got a little deep there, but I'm a pretty deep individual sometimes. Yeah, I guess that's really it. I mean, the Homelander stuff was cool, I guess, but we're just back to him being an adult baby. But I think it works for what they've been doing with him this season, where he needs that mommy figure like he had in the beginning, and but now he's going to have full power, most likely. Like he's going to take control of this government, and now he has a soup involved that can help him get in. But why wouldn't he just want to take over completely? Because he has a lot of support. I think he has the most support on the planet. Even if Homelander decided to run for president out of the blue, which he very well could, would he win the popular vote? He might. He might. I think that'd be a fun way to end the season where he's like, I have decided I am running for president of these United States. And I'd be like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. And it's like, I don't care what Vaught has to say. I don't care what like Newman has to say. I don't care. That's all. That's also another thing he just has to say. He just would be like, I don't give a fuck about these higher ups. I am the one you want to lead. Even though they don't know him truly, but it's true. Like he has a huge popularity. He's the superhero in this universe. He is the Superman. And if he decided to run for president, shit, maybe he could. Maybe he could. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a very good episode. It's not my favorite of the season. It probably is my second favorite. I thought episode 5 was solid. I liked a lot of stuff in it, but I still say 4 is my absolute favorite, and 5 is just under this one. But overall, I think I am overall. I'm disappointed with the season, even though I think we've gotten some great stuff. Specifically everything with Homelander and everything with Huey and everything with Butcher, who I think are the 3 best characters in the show, hands down. And they're the 3 main characters also, to me. So they have to be the best. But again, you also get good stuff with all the main side. Oh, excuse me. All the main side characters as well. Like Mother's Milk has a good arc. Frenchie has a good one. Starlight. Any of these other soups. Again, I love this show. It's definitely one of my favorite ones running. I do think this season could have had a little more sauce. I don't know if they've rushed it or they just didn't have enough time with it. I think the script could be a little better. There could be a little bit more jaw-dropping storylines. I think a lot of it is just shock of value over, oh shit, this is where the story's going. I think the only time I felt that this season is when Homelander killed everyone that he grew up around. Man, that's really it. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it for me. I know kind of a shorter stream, but I think with episode 7, I'm hoping with the penultimate episode of the season, we have a lot more to talk about, because then it's the penultimate season finale that we're going to get from the show, because we're only going to have one more of these, and that's season 5. We only have one more season, so like we only have what, 10 more episodes of this entire series, and I know they want to maybe have like an insane cliffhanger at the end of season 5 and do a movie, which I think is a great idea. I know that's what the actor who plays Mother's Milk wants to do, and I know Anthony Starr, who plays Homelander, is all in on that too. So that'd be a sick idea, but who knows if they do that, right? If you didn't get a chance, if you're a Star Wars fan, make sure to check out either on Sidetrack or M Cubed. We have our afterthoughts of the newest Acolyte, and I think we had some great conversation on there. Of course, a lot of us are just pretty much done with Star Wars right now, and it's sad because it's for all of us, it's one of our first loves. I know for me, it's definitely one of my first loves. Spider-Man and Star Wars are my 2 OG loves of all time, and there's still 2 of my favorite things out there. So ultimately, Marvel and Star Wars are my 2 things that made me me. Make sure to check that out if you haven't. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Sad that not too many of y'all joined in, so we couldn't have a lot of comments with the live viewers that I can answer or roll off of. But still, overall, I think a good stream, and I hope you guys enjoyed. But again, make sure to like and subscribe. Leave your comments down below, and hit that notification bell, because I want you to know when we go live or whenever we have a new video posted. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I will put some updates in the community notes for what the plan is for next week. I think the ultimate plan, I think, for me is going to be to do episode 7 on Monday or Tuesday, and then do episode 8 either Thursday or Friday. It'll probably be Friday. But then that way the next week can just be about Deadpool, and the week after that can be about San Diego Comic-Con. All right, guys, that's going to do it. All right, I'll catch y'all very soon. Bye-bye.